sistema, diciamo, di costruzione.
Hey, what do you want from me, Queef? This is Mark Norman, and this is Sam Morrell, and we might be drunk, but this is comedy. Doing, motherfuckers. Aren't we just having a great time? Holy shit, we had some insanity pop off this week, huh? I'm here for it, right? It's all excitement. Content is content, baby. But before we jump right into the attack, because I'm going to let you know, today is going to be a very heated episode. I'm firing on all gears. I scrapped the guest feature because I just wasn't in the mood to have this conversation with somebody else. Needed to be about right now, motherfucker. So I'm gonna give it to you. Anyway, you know how we do here. Bit of a fun intro. Of course, I gotta smoke a bowl. Oh yeah, that's the good stuff. Just to get all the formalities out of the way. Hope everybody's been doing good. Anybody that checked out last week's episode with Shane, much obliged. If you haven't caught that one yet, please go check it out. He shared a lot of funny stories, and we talked quite a bit about Skankfest behind the scenes. I mean, for some people, maybe that's not good enough. I get it. I had a lot of fun talking with him, though. And there are more people that I want to bring into the fold from Skank, but again, that's not what today is going to be about. So, maybe I'll start with a little bit more positivity, right? Because you know what I do here. In this vein of Art Bell, it's time for the anti-humor injection. For the last couple weeks, we have been banging the war drum when it comes to Ben Avery versus Jeff Dye. And it's been getting really interesting. We've been seeing Dye double down, get more invested. I think everybody saw that meme he posted. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go check it out. Go look at his ex. He did this little AI pic of Cranky Kong from the Donkey Kong Country series. And really, if we want to go into the nerd lore, there's that argument Cranky Kong was the original Donkey Kong that Mario fought against long ago, and just like in the Mario movie, this is his son. Isn't it funny we're talking about the Mario movie? So you know where this conversation is going soon. I'm just so ready to get there, but again, I need to stay on this wave before I shift to the next one. So it's like, you post this little meme, and it's just Cranky Kong surrounded by Coca-Cola. And immediately the first thing I notice is, why is it cans and not bottles? You know, you're already fucking it up. I wanted so bad to be like, hell yeah, dude, you finally got something. But nope, you even messed up there. Because part of the bit that's been going on with Lemon Party for a while is you'll hear the glass bottles clanking around. It's a lot funnier if you're doing audio only instead of watching it and seeing it happen. Because one moment they're riffing, the next you just hear clank, 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 fucking, God, I think I got a bottle here, I can replicate it. All you're fucking hearing is and look, it's so funny to have a conversation partially derail because bottles are just everywhere. So anyway, props for the effort, but you couldn't even get that one right, Jeff. There's been this ongoing thing, and the stakes have slowly been escalating. Now, from Ben's side, he's been very adamant about, look, maybe we should, cool our brakes, cheeky baby. And I get that. There might be a hint of, I don't want to call it regret, but I'm sure you didn't see it becoming this. You tell a lot of people that they suck. And I'm not saying wrong, by the way. It's just, you tell a lot of people. You paint with a broad brush. A lot of people suck. Hell, I suck sometimes. Real shit. I'm definitely not invincible. Okay? So we all can fuck up. Sometimes that Kobe Bryant moment comes and, yeah, we don't hit it. It happens. But I don't think you planned for the Jeff Dye saga to be as big as it has been. It's been a talking point in comedy for a while. And I know because it's you, maybe you don't, I don't want to say it like this, but maybe you don't see it the same way. Because I don't mean anything by that. It's just, it's easier for people who are outside of the situation to have a different perspective versus you, the guy who married, kids, you have 2 close friends you do a podcast with, you do your own show, you have your own routines within that already set in stone, established schedule. There's a certain rhythm to the beat of your drum. And I get that. I wouldn't call you Carlin when it comes to your preparation skills or what goes into the comedy, which again, that's also not a slight. What I'm saying is a lot of your art feels much more naturalistic as opposed to somebody like Carlin, where I think he's one of the best of all time, but when you look back at his material and the stories you hear about him, he was practicing these lines of dialogue over and over and over again until that's all he could think about. You are just letting it go, which is beautiful. It's a complete inverse in a way where I think that is truly why I'm a fan of Ben's comedy, why I enjoy Lemon Party. Ben made me a bigger fan of Devin, which I always enjoyed Devin. There's a clip on my channel with him and Tim while Tim's laying in the bed naked, unless he's got pants on, but he looks to be naked, and they're talking about OJ. It's a great clip. And there's other moments that Devin has been around, and I know he has hate watch. But when Lemon Party manifested, I got to really get into a different universe with these people. And these three musketeers went on these crazy little unsanctioned missions. The three caballeros. And I've said this in the past that I think it was on the Chubby Lemon Town episode. They fill a necessary void, which is why people are enamored by them. It feels like home, it feels comfortable. A lot of the Cumtown boys didn't have a place to go once Stav decided he was bowing out. You know, all of these people, the fans, they don't disappear. They just separate. They go their separate ways. They end up in different communities, and you might coalesce once in a while, because that happens for me, not to go off on a completely different route, but in the spaces I occupy, there's overlap. Shout out to Green Ghoul Gaming. I don't think there's a guy who I see in more fucking chats than him. And he's a mod in a couple of them. But I mean that. Green Ghoul Gaming is one of those guys who's very supportive, makes the rotations. Some people just are not cut from that same cloth. They're not trying to be present in the moments. You know, they only come around for a comment or a like on a post, which I'm not hating on that either. Sometimes that's all you got to give, but everybody notices when the support isn't equal, or if it feels a bit one way, and you try to extend your hand out and say, hey, let's cooperate, let's have a team effort. But there's so many people, even within the Lemon Party fandom, that don't want to team up. And there's almost this subterfuge that happens where nobody is allowed to have a moment, or if somebody has a moment, you don't see people celebrate it equally. When I see somebody post some shit, whether it's popped off or not, I like to engage with it because I feel like it's mandatory, it's necessary, because these are people that we all want the same thing, so we should do what we can so that everyone succeeds. You can't use people as a stepping stone in these environments, or be upset that you didn't get there first, you didn't have the thought. We're all different parts of the same machine. It's a lemon Voltron. And if you're upset that one part got something that another part didn't, maybe you should have been more present in the moments, being around more people in different places, so that something would have happened within you to will that. Because it's nobody else's fault if you don't rise to the occasion. Going back to the we miss out on the Kobe moment sometimes. It's very true. All of us can't always be ready. And I want you to remember that as kind of a key point that we circle back to, one of the pillars about readiness, preparedness, and expectations. Anyway, so we had that failed meme from Jeff Dye, which got some engagement. I'm glad some people liked it, but personally, if you liked that meme, you just don't have the intelligence to see how bad it was. It was a very baseline, primal, bug mode, slug. Oh, I have to complete this task before the next task. If you haven't seen that praying mantis video where it's killing a fucking bee, and then there's another bee behind the praying mantis cutting through its neck. Just cutting through it. And the praying mantis doesn't stop to like turn back and grab that bee and throw it off so it doesn't completely chop it in half. It keeps killing the bee it has and allows itself to die, because that's how bugs' brains work. So if you ever see these people who genuinely the bug mode thing from Lemon Party, it's very real. The same way you talk about reptile brain, and some people just have traits that would surprise you. But it's there. It's in the sequence, baby. But we've had quite a bit happen. You had the We Might Be Drunk Boys post on Lemonheads, who Lemonheads has been, his video was on Alex Jones' InfoWars, famously, before that got shut down. That's a cool moment for him. And rightly, Lemonheads has been getting a lot of the attention and motion. I kind of feel bad, in a way, that I had to be the first person to bring Lemonheads on in a public way. And trust me, we're gonna get Lemonheads on in the future for a solo episode. I just wanted to bring him in with Dave because I thought it would make the conversation more fun. Dave is a great guy on his own, don't get me wrong. But when I saw an opportunity to put Lemonheads in the mix, I couldn't resist. Give him some credibility by establishing his first appearance with somebody known like Dave. And me, I don't really give a fuck how I'm perceived or if people think I'm the greatest gift that's ever been given. I'm not here for all that. Last week's episode should have clued a lot of people in that I'm here because it's funny for me. And when it stops being funny or fun, or I stop enjoying it, it's not amusing to me. If there's a bit or a gag that even if everybody hates me for it, I'm dying, I'll stick around and continue. But the moment I feel that something's gone stale or it's just not worth it anymore, you move on. You leave it alone. Which is kind of what's happening now with the Jeff Dye situation. We're in a dark time with that content. It's over pretty much. And again, you had Lemonheads pushing a lot of this momentum in the last couple of weeks. A comment on Lewis's page saying, because Lewis was asking people to, give him questions to answer. And props to Lemonheads for saying, can we get Lemon Party at Skankfest? And I'll own up to that right now, because I haven't been able to track down any screenshots or whatever I saw. I must have smoked some really good shit, because I gave misinformation unintentionally that I thought they were all supposed to be at last year's. I could have swore I saw them on an early talent list, but I'm probably mistaken. And that's okay. I make fucking mistakes. It's possible that somebody could have done art for it and then realized they weren't invited and took it down before too many people noticed. I mean, shit like that happens all the time. You never know. But whether it's the We Might Be Drunk guys posting on Lemonhead's channel and then realizing it's a clip channel and deleting the comment and being embarrassed for some reason instead of recognizing that is one avenue to access these guys and do some content with them if you actually find it funny and want them on the show. Why not let Lemonheads get a little bit of that fun for him in his life? Because it's all about stories and connecting people. What's wrong with him having a little moment and you guys being like, hell yeah, dude, reach out? Instead, you delete the comment, you keep deleting comments. You're upset that Lemon Party fans and Ben Avery fans Chains wants you to put this together. And on a side note, big shout out Tim Butterly. Thank you for having all three of the boys on. I know they did other shows. It's not like that. But I thought that was one of the best appearances from them I've ever seen. And then breaking the chair, that's gonna go down. That's gonna go down as a fucking memorable moment. I mean that shit. That was unfucking believable. And it's like, he's not even fat, dude. But he's the fat ass that broke a fucking chair. That's hilarious. So yeah, Lemonheads has been putting in good work. He left that comment on under Lewis's shit, and the next thing you know, we have Ben showing up on Real Ass Podcast with shout out to Josh Potter. I got to go on the Cornfest, which was the Skankfest celebration that Dalton and Dave did. And I'm like smiling ear to ear saying it now because I still can't believe I got to do something like that with Josh. And Josh was just on Real Ass Podcast. You know, the more I take a step back and appreciate things, you just try to say thank you and not be a dick to people. But that's so fucking cool to me. And it was a great episode. If you didn't check that out, go check it out. I know I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but I think it's important to show the timeline of events and then kind of give you some context as to why that paid off in spades. Like, Lemonheads has put in the work. He's made sure to advance us towards the goal line. And now what do we have, boys? Not only is Ben doing Story Wars, he's also coming to Skankfest. Really? Fuck yeah, brother. That's what I want. We're all gonna get a picture under the lemon tree in New Orleans. I'm serious, there's one there. Anybody who caught it in time remembers the trade-off of me giving the lemon I had from the tree to Vandal at Skank. Fucking awesome moment. I can't wait to see him this year. Shane's gonna be there. A lot of people are gonna be there. And I can't wait to bust my ass for the event. I mean it. I can't wait. Anyway, enough gratitude. So yeah, that happened. It was unfucking believable. And I'm also not gonna gloat beyond that, because all I will say is, like, thank you to the people that have actually interacted and engaged on X. Every time I open it up now, I've got a shit ton of notifications, and I'm not trying to seem like I'm Mr. Cool Guy, popular. I'm not. I've got 200 followers on X. I'm not even at 1K yet on YouTube. So I don't think I'm Mr. Fantastic. But personally, it feels really cool that I'm just in these certain moments, and it feels good to be seen. And that's what this community does for people. You got to think about, from the outside, people might have any type of opinion, but if you're actually participating in it, man, the Lemon Party community, one of the best out there. They look out for each other. So yeah, we made some pretty impressive shit happen recently. And then a curveball was kind of thrown at us, right? And I don't want to be shitty about this, because it's going to come off that way. But after all of this hubbub, and we don't need to wind the clocks infinitely back about banned off YouTube and blah, blah. We don't need to go back, all right? However, this week, on After Tonight, they managed to convince Jeff to go on their show. I know what you're thinking. On one hand, congratulations, guys. You got a big get for the show. You did triple your normal numbers. I mean, 10K for that episode when you normally get 3, sometimes 4, which I'm not knocking it. I don't have beef with these guys. Let me put this out there right now. I have no beef. I've supported their shit in the past. I've liked their content. Hell, I would even have them on this show. Not that they're interested or even know who the fuck I am. Just putting that out there. I have no problem with those guys. And I enjoyed hanging out that, you know, for the show that night. But on the other times that I've been there, such as when they've had Ben on. So it's not as if them getting Jeff, I feel, is bigger or lesser than Ben. But for them, at the height of everything that's been going on for months, that's a pretty big power move. Now, I want to lead off by saying I'm not sure, but wasn't it Lemonheads that posted he had talked to Jeff about going on Ben's show? And you don't want to throw in a question the authenticity of that, because at the end of the day, if it was a troll, it was a funny joke. But that also read in a way as him genuinely saying he would go on the show, which means it would be a level playing field for both people to have a conversation about this. Instead of that, what we got is a very rushed and imperfect moment. And there's no putting that genie back in the bottle, guys. Whether you liked it or not, that's it. That's what we got out of the Ben Avery, Jeff Dye pseudo feud. I almost don't think these guys know what they did by having Jeff on. Or maybe they did. Maybe this was their plan. You never know. But I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. Because again, no beef. Seen what they've done in the past. You'd never want to think that somebody's leaning into an ambush type situation. And Ben even retweeted the episode. So I don't think that there was anything malicious going on. I'm trying to emphasize this. But I can't help but feel this way, and I'm trying to articulate it in a sense that doesn't come off as defamatory or aggressive to the After Tonight guys. If I wanted to talk shit about them, I would. I don't. I have no interest in talking shit about them because they run a good show, and from my perspective, they're professionals. That's the way they come off. But I also don't think that they're above anything. We've talked about that. People can make mistakes, and I will explain after what I'm about to say. I think they made a big mistake having Jeff Dye on the way they did, warming him up for about an hour and a half. And I was in the chat watching all of it, watching Jeff Dye crash out. Look, people can say whatever the fuck they want, but when he brought up Ben's kids and calling CPS to have them take his kids away, I don't think comics like it when you talk about their kids or try to even bring up their family during consensual appearances. Which I'm not saying this After Tonight show is non-consensual, but I think you know what I mean, where you've arranged something in advance and you both have agreed these are the terms, it works for both of us. I can think when, who was it, fucking He had Bill Burr on and immediately started asking questions about his family. And maybe Bill Burr isn't the best example, you know, he has been on a different path, so let's not fucking, I don't want people to be like, oh, you Bill Burr apologist. Dude, Burr's put in some work. We've talked positively before on the pod with him during the episodes with Corsair Chef. Like, just because he's shooting different doesn't mean he can't still shoot. But he immediately got defensive, his entire attitude changed. The mood in the room changed, it shifted, and he's like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? Asking me these fucking questions about my family? And you asked that off the pod, you fucking dipshit. You don't ask me that now. The fuck is the matter with you? What, you want me to ask you about your family? And I don't do that. He got real defensive. And I mean, with reason, potentially, because look what happened years later with Howie Mandel when he's like, hey, look, I found your brother. And Bill was just like, the fuck is wrong with you, man? What's wrong with you, dude? You fucking weirdo. So yeah, there's a little bit of an element to no sacred cows, but also comedy isn't a vehicle for you to say, oh yeah, let's call CPS and get Ben's kids taken away. I mean, Jeff, you don't really seem concerned about any of the real, PDF files. All these other PDFs out here, you don't care. And you'll just casually throw that out there. Which to me is just very dark. That Ben is not Benjamin Netanyahu. He's not Jeffrey Epstein. He's not fucking Kevin Spacey. He's not John Reap. It's funny. Let's actually go down this path. I'm so glad that came to my mind. Out of all the people that you should be casting judgment upon and saying that something should have been involved sooner to stop whatever perception, you should have been talking about that kind of shit to your boy John Rape. He went down the Danny Masterson path too. You got all these crazy words. And if we want to get weird about it for a second, because I just know this side of the coin, I can play devil's advocate for all kinds of shit. Even if I don't believe in it, doesn't mean I don't have the knowledge or can't speak to it. You should really think about what you're saying. again, I'm over here not sure why you think it's okay to protect John Rape, but you can make comments like this about Ben. And in the streaming world, if somebody went to that bitch Pokimane, right? What's the real name? Amane, whatever. If they went after her and they said like, we should have you swatted. Everybody knows what that is. Sure, that could be a throwaway joke, but it also can be a violation of terms of service because you're calling for people to rally behind this little statement. It's a call to arms. You're personal armying with these statements, Jeff. If you really want to get technical with it. And I mean, years ago, back when I was a little fucking gamer nerd, if you went on Twitch and you jokingly said you were gonna DDoS somebody, homie, I got a 2-week ban for that. Somebody was getting hacked and I was like, let's DDoS them. Let's DDoS them back, jokingly. Yeah, I got banned for 2 weeks. And when I appealed and told Twitch, hey, I was joking. Watch the stream. It's a joke. They didn't care. And the 2-week ban remained. When I've spoken to things that can happen, you think you're safe, but you're not. And here you are on After Tonight's platform. It's not your show. You're a guest on someone's show. And the way that you are conducting yourself is by inciting the audience and having the idea of CPS being called on Ben. So you want police to go into his house, traumatize his children. The kids are separated from him and the wife. That's what you want? Because he called you a faggot? Do you know how sad that sounds? And it's recorded. It's not hearsay. It's not alleged. You went on somebody's show and tried to incite violence, man. Because a lot of things can happen in those situations. Motherfuckers have almost been shot getting swatted before, and that's been the goal for people. Hoping that something bad happens because of whatever might exist within the context of that moment. You never know, a cop sees something, he thinks it's a weapon, shoots, and then gets off because he's a cop and he's just doing his job, even though the whole thing was a setup and a prank. And, you know, if the person who did the prank, as they want to call it, if they obfuscated their information well enough where there's no way to figure out who did it, guess what? They just killed somebody and got away with it. That's crazy work. And some people don't really know what they want. When it gets to a point that there's no coming back from, a lot of people do have regret. And then it's like their life is done. They don't have anything anymore because they gave that piece they needed to hold on to away. And that's what I saw in the hour and 20 or hour and 30 minutes that you were on the show holding court as if you were this great man. And oh, why can't people just let me be boring? And if we let you go back to that, you wouldn't have any of the engagement you do now. The only reason that you have a career is because people enjoy trolling you. If you would lean into that, you would become more successful. If you would give up this cigar, cowboy hat, Spurs, side-switching politics, bullshit, so many people wouldn't even hate you. They would just enjoy doing gags on you the same way that they do gags on every other comedian. I see comedians that are very good at letting themselves be the joke. And when you allow people to make fun of you, it emulates that lunchroom experience we used to all have. I remember people used to make fun of me for bringing a lunch to school. I remember one time somebody said, it's because you can't afford a lunch here. And I cracked open my cooler, and homie, I had a can of Coca-Cola, a can of Sprite, a fucking triple-decker sandwich that had Swiss, crisp lettuce, turkey, ham, bacon, you name it. Salami, Italian dressing, just a fucking dope-ass bag of chips, candy, like a Butterfinger or something, or maybe some Skittles or Mike and Ike's. I loved Mike and Ike's. And I just have this precious cargo, and I'm looking over at this kid with pizza and french fries, and I'm like, I don't feel bad for me. I don't want to eat pizza 5 days a week. I want to have somebody who gives a fuck about me enough to pack me a lunch. And they would be pissed if I forgot to bring my shit. If I didn't bring my lunch bag home. It was a big deal. Them's the breaks sometimes, you know? You gotta deal with the shit that comes. Teaches you responsibility not to be a little shit. But I'd always forget. That's why you have extra coolers. So if you forget one, you get the loaner. Now you can go ahead and you're good to go. Now you gotta bring 2 home though. Makes it a little tough. But yeah, I don't know, man. You really just don't get it, Jeff. You don't understand that you could gain so much more if instead of being such a tight ass, you know how to laugh. And it's really easy, man. You don't have to threaten about CPS or say, yeah, I'd beat him in a fight because he's disabled. You know, by no means do I think that this was a good look for you. But it highlighted that you could be funny if you would just stop all this bullshit and you'd lean into who you really are. Because it's there for you, man. It's right there waiting for you to take it. If you wait too long, you're just going to go back into irrelevancy. That's where you were before. Before all the bot likes. When you get way too many likes and no comments on a video, we know what's going on. Yeah, sometimes people don't want to say anything, but a lot of the time, it's not real, man. Don't you want it to be real? I know I would. That's why I don't care about the engagement I get. You know, the episode from 2 weeks ago had over 200 views. Last week, I think we just hit 60. It fluctuates. I have fun with my shit, though. This is a refuge for people to do what they want and not feel as if they have to be performative. There's too much of that. Just have a good time. But Jeff, everything to you is, I don't know, this backwards conflation. We don't need any of that shit from you, man. And again, after an hour and a half of this, they finally managed to convince Ben to hop on. I don't think Ben had any plans to hop on. I don't think that was the plan at any point. I think Ben was just retweeting them, was happy that they were making this happen. He was going to be excited to listen to it. And then they just kept mentioning that, well, we could probably get Ben on the show to talk about this. And guys, after the 5th or 6th time of saying that and angling to force the interaction, maybe don't do it this time. Maybe let it go. Live to fight another day. Because there would have been so much content to come out of this, and then we would have had the final countdown. That's not what happened. You guys let him linger around like a bad smell. He looked unhinged. And we didn't even get Ben at full strength. It could have been part of the bit, because I don't want to say that's outside of the realm of possibility. Of course not. But what does he do? He comes on unprepared. He's trying to set up this dude. Personally, when he had all the lights off, and that one camera angle of just him in the dark, looking like Deep Throat, that's what he should have done. He should have just been in the dark, and then if you could have gotten a camera to come on or something, or I mean a light and whatever, cool. But if not, that's what it should have been, dude. He didn't even believe it was you when you were on the phone. He kept saying that they were trolling him. He was very contentious, even with the After Tonight hosts. But in a way, they bolstered him and gave him this momentum to where Ben comes on for an hour. He can't get the camera to work. The camera got stuck in an angle where even Ben said it looked like he was trying to suck his own dick. And he had to turn his shit off and just be in the conversation as a faceless voice, not even really knowing where to go with the conversation or the direction. And they're trying to stumble through it anyway, because they're here in the moment, so let's see what's gonna happen. And Jeff has this fake smile painted on his face. You could just see he's like holding his breath, waiting for a moment where he can stop doing the pained smile and say what he wants to say in a girly way. And the moment that bled out to me, I'm not sure how many people actually caught it, but go back and watch it if you missed it, and you'll understand. There was a moment where you saw Ben truly frustrated with the setup of the situation. And I never like to anticipate people's emotions or speak on their behalf, and I could be completely wrong about this. If I am, that's okay. I've been wrong before. The way that it read, that's probably how I should word it. The way it read when you said, "Oh, you're so fucking retarded, Jeff, you're fucking retard," and the anger, just the anger, not even with Jeff or with the After Tonight boys. It's the situation that he found himself in. that it was not going to end up the way anybody imagined, which is sort of why you saw Ben not go for the killing blow. It's entirely possible that he had a conversation with his wife before he even went on. And I am not going to sit here and act like Tim had any insight. You did hear Tim joke here and there about how his wife was gonna make him stop doing the show. Whitney had made a joke about it. And even though these are jokes, there's always a hint of truth to everything. I'm sure his wife wants a quieter life. I'm sure the optics are tough for a woman who has kids with someone. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but maybe think about it. Does she want to be the woman married to the guy that calls people faggot on the internet? Regardless of whether it pays the bills or whatever. And I'm not trying to look too deep, right? I'm not trying to overanalyze Ben on any level because I don't think he has a bad marriage. I think the communication he has with his wife is proof that they have a strong marriage, which is why they're together and Ben's able to do what he does. Because he does have somebody that supports him. But part of that support is also knowing when to be able to present options to people and not necessarily corral them in a direction that they need to go, but make sure that you're protecting them, because protecting them also protects you. And one can say that Ben focusing too much on one comic, regardless of their relevancy or the depth of their comedy, is probably not good for him in the long term, when the majority of his content and what has made Ben funny and successful has been a tried and true formula of riffing with the boys on Lemon Party, talking about the fats on the show, and tweeting at people while allowing his volunteer team of fans like Soyface, shout out to him, to fuck things up out there. I mean, you've had Zach Amico think that Soyface was the real Ben account. That's not the only comedian. There have been multiple moments where comedians confuse what the Soyface account is saying as words from the actual Ben Avery. That is not something that's directed by Ben, but obviously what Soyface is doing only helps Ben, because then Ben has a guaranteed in to be like, yeah, this isn't me, it's just a fan. And that's good. It's good to have things like this. Really. It's not a bad look whatsoever. But you saw in that moment of him being like, you're a fucking retard, that I felt that when he said it. This isn't what Ben wanted. It's not what Ben asked for. I get it. I get it, Ben. You wanted to have him on the show or on Lemon Party. And you even asked towards the end of that interaction with Jeff on After Tonight. You did ask if he would come on Lemon Party. But by this point, it was already too late. You could tell he was too scared. He was saying these things on a recording to you. That you scare him, he's afraid, he's uncomfortable, this has ruined his life. Those are very tough things to hear from somebody. Especially when, again, Ben didn't want it to get as big as it has. He thought he was just going to be riffing on one person like he does the Fats, and then it'd blow over after a week and people would let it go, and nobody did. And I won't act as if Jeff didn't fuel that fire himself. Homie, the moment that you were going to say that he used to giggle on Tim's pod, you knew you fucked up, man. That's not what you need to do. You should have just kept your fucking mouth shut. If you really weren't prepared for all of this, then don't interact with people. You're allowed to say people suck, but then you gotta move on. You can't spend weeks or keep touching back, and not if you aren't prepared for the back and forth. That's all I'm saying. Because if you operate under the mindset that you can, everything that happened to Jeff Dye will happen to you. You absolutely cannot live in this world of, well, I can just do whatever I want, and nobody can do that to me. It's just never going to be a good look. I'm serious. You have to think about the bigger fucking picture. Jeff did not do that on that show. He didn't realize that they could have had a big moment. He just doubled down on, I'm scared of you, I don't like this, it makes me uncomfortable. Maybe I'm too old to get what's hip and all this trolling stuff. It's just a different generation of comedy. He really Stonewall Jacksoned that shit. It wasn't about bridging the gap. And who knows, maybe Ben will be able to figure that out, but it's not going to be what anybody wanted or expected. And I don't mean that in a disparaging way towards Ben either. It's not like I had a horse in the race. I just enjoyed it for what it was, like any normal fucking fan does. I'm not out here trying to force things to happen. And that's kind of my point about the overarching outside of Ben and Jeff. The After Tonight boys, this was a fumble in my opinion, because you should have waited to have this conversation with Jeff when you knew Ben was going to be available. Not, oh, it's now or never, let's let it rip, and then spend the majority of the episode saying how we could probably get Ben to come on, and no offense, but there's no real meaningful contributions. You're just kind of throwing these layup questions at him, and you know, you did confront him at least once about, you know, fighting, but you kind of backed up, and you know, like it just didn't serve any purpose about bringing him on to interview him in a way. It didn't feel like it needed to happen. And Ben coming on and how that evolved, you guys can ask yourself that. Was it worth 10K views and the end of the saga? Because it's done now. Ben put the post out himself. You got this fucking Aux guy. He's mad about it. I have to keep hearing about this guy's fucking name in the same breath as Chud the Builder, which, that's hilarious. That's fucking hilarious. But it's just, Ben's done with this now. And I don't think the Lemonheads are. I think a lot of you motherfuckers out there are mad about how this went down, and you don't know what you're really mad about. You just know that you're mad. And here I am trying to put it into words what I actually think the sentiment around this is. That people were so hyped for this, and these guys were not capable of creating the moment that we all wanted. They gave us something, but it was what nobody asked for. And I'm not again, I said this enough fucking times, I'll say it again. I'm not trying to shit on After Tonight. But do you think I have the depth to bring Jeff Dye and Ben Avery on This Is Comedy? Do you think I'm gonna be a good intermediate? Every fucking time those guys open their mouth to interrupt and stop the flow of conversation between Ben and Jeff, it was a disservice to the moment. Because they kept saying like, oh, well, we can just let's squash the beat. That never would have been in the fucking conversation if it would have been done on Ben's terms. If Jeff would have went on the show, or Lemon Party, or hell, if Ben would have went on Die Hard, you two would not have been there to keep awkwardly saying, oh, well, can't we all just get along? Dude, have you not been here for the fucking bit the last couple of months? I don't want to call you guys fucking retards, but I'm kind of having that moment of frustration myself where I don't know why you guys did this, because you ruined it. You ruined it for everybody by forcing Ben's hand, by forcing Jeff's hand. You couldn't just be patient and let shit play out the way it was going to play out. Ben and his wife have to have a conversation, and Ben, God, it sounds like he's a fucking gambling addict, you know? He just keeps going back to the same casino, losing more money, and his wife is just like, I'm gonna take the kids to stay with my mother, and he's like, babe, I promise this is the last time. It's the last time. I swear to God. That at this point, that's what it's become. That Ben, it's been a point of contention whether he's able to talk about this, because we've turned it into such a moment. But the consequence of that, again, is we're going to get Ben on Story Wars. And I'm so glad that he's going to be at Skankfest. Like, that's the main reason I wanted to go last year. Of course, I wanted to go see Nick Mullen. I wanted to go meet Sam and Lund. I wanted to go meet all those guys. But I wanted to go meet Ben. And now I'll get to do it. So that's fucking amazing. Everybody should be proud of themselves for that. But I don't think we should be proud of this appearance on After Tonight. I think it did damage to the bit, and maybe it's good that things ended this way. And it didn't turn into a bigger finale than we were hoping. Because, I mean, what were we really expecting to get out of this? You know, do you guys really want Ben's cane to turn into one of those hidden shotguns? And, like, is that what you're actually angling for? Because that's not the end game. Nobody wants that. I think everybody just wanted Jeff to go on the show for, like, 2 or 3 hours with Ben, since they both live in LA. And they could argue about shit because they have such different personalities, and it would be great content for them to not exactly be friends, not exactly be enemies, but do this content together that would feed into the machine and make them both more successful. Because really, that's all I ever saw Ben trying to do. He was trying to make an ally. You know, you can tease somebody, but we tease people because we like them. There were comics roasting me at Skankfest, and I took it as a big honor, because that's a way that they let you know you're alright by them. If you can't take a joke, comics aren't going to want to be around you. It's just the way it is. If you don't believe me, fuck around and find out. You'll learn for yourself. They're just regular people like us, man. And yeah, I don't think it was a good look how we saw Ben and Jeff interact on After Tonight. Again, props to you guys that you actually pulled it off. You know, I'm sure there was an element of that for both of you, of can we actually make this happen? And I'm sure that fear of loss, a little bit of anxiety where you don't know if Jeff is ever going to come on again, All of these things propelled you into making the decision that was made. And if this gets me some enemies, well, so be it. But I will be the one to say that I think you guys made the wrong decision having Ben and Jeff in the way that you did. And we would have gotten a better experience out of both of them if both of them were ready and willing. Not just willing, ready and willing. Ben was not ready. Was he still good despite his lack of preparedness and having to rush through all? Yes. He has kids, he has a wife. Jeff doesn't have any of that, so it's easy for him to sit in his fucking living room and talk about calling CPS on Ben. It is not easy for Ben to rush a bedtime story or spend 5 less minutes sitting in the bed with his kids while they go to sleep. Because that's not how it works with kids. Anybody who's ever been around kids and cared for them knows that. I'm a fucking uncle, so it is what it is. But I guess Jeff, it's never been Uncle Die, huh? You don't know nothing about that life. It's just, yeah, call CPS. He's waving a can around and clinking bottles. This guy's crazy. And you're fucking sad, man. That's why we got you to stop wearing a hat. But you're still having these rants about the Mario movie. I gotta listen to you talk about the Mario movie. I gotta go on the Gay and Racist show with Minty and Handler and be a part of a 2-hour dunk fest on you. And we can't even get through the episode because you have all these opinions about women, but you use Princess Peach as the example. And you're just preaching all this misogynistic bullshit, saying that women should just, stay in the castle, stay in the kitchen type shit, so that you don't have to keep rescuing them. Is that what you get out of the Mario movie? Is that these bitches just need to stop leaving the house? Need to stay home with the toads? Fuck. I don't know what to think of you anymore, man. It was funny to look at you as a lol cow, because that's the way they put it. You are a lol cow with user tendencies. But no, you're kind of just a piece of shit, man. You're not a good dude. We got plenty of those out there, and you're not worth focusing on forever and always. There's been plenty of those that have come and gone. I really do think people are bored of talking about you. They're sick of it. They don't need more Jeff Dye in their life. They need less. I certainly don't care about any of the points you're making. I think I've said this before, but I didn't even know you were at Skankfest last year. I don't know if somebody was just joking, but if you were there, I didn't fucking see you one time, buddy. You were a very well hidden secret. I don't think anybody really cared, man. I didn't. I cared about Timmy No Breaks, though. There were a lot of dudes there, like in the Creek and the Cave rooms, that were fun as fuck to watch. I didn't see you anywhere, bro. The same way I didn't see Lemaire. That's how it be. Saw everybody else. Saw a lot of Mullen. Saw a lot of Sam. Saw a lot of Voss. I guess that's just the difference, Real comedians, they're present. They're not hiding off somewhere, bitching about life. They're enjoying the celebration that we're all participating in. So if I see you this year, you'll know it's me, because I'll be rocking some of This Is Comedy merch. And you're more than welcome to pick some up if you need. We got them in your size, don't worry. But yeah, that's my take on this whole situation, guys. It doesn't seem like a good look. It's the end of things. Ben's put out that statement officially. where do we go from here? Well, I'm sure Ben will go live, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, who knows. And we'll talk about the fats, and we'll find a new Jeff Dye. But that diamond mind is hollowed out. You can only talk about shit like John Rape and all this other crazy shit so much before it's time to find a new target. Plus, we gotta celebrate the good things, not just continuously focus on things that aren't good. I don't even want to say Jeff Dye is bad, but he's not good. Again, Ben doing Story Wars. Ben was just on Real Ass Podcast. Ben's going to Skankfest. I have a feeling we might see Lemon Party at Skankfest. I'm not gonna, make any claims, but if Ben's going, Devin and Jace, it's not out of the realm of possibilities. So keep your eyes on that. Hopefully everybody got tickets. It's gonna be a huge fucking event. It's gonna be a fun time. I'm excited to see everybody again. Patreon.com/thisiscomedy. We will get back to having guests after this episode. Like I said, I didn't want to bring anybody in on this. That makes me a little uncomfortable, and part of me was like, do I want to hit up a bunch of people to talk about Jeff Dye today? I didn't want to wait around to make the episode happen either. Sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. You can't be hyper-focused on the shit that isn't gonna come together. Appreciate everybody that's been tuning in. We will see y'all next week.